Hello. This is Biniam Tesfaye. Welcome to Nutrition Nerd Academy, or in short, LEAK. LEAK is an Amharic word meaning academic, educated, or intellectual. And today we will gonna discuss about the process of nourishing the body, which is the section 2 of our curriculum. But last time in our videos, I said the section 2 will be to discuss about the overview of the digestive organ. But I think we should discuss about the process of nourishing the body before we delve into discussing each digestive organs. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, or share, and also comment on this videos and also the previous videos. This is how the YouTube algorithm works. This will help the video to be seen in different parts of the world, so it will make it very reachable. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, comments, and share this video. Okay. Having said that, our today's learning objective is to discuss the process of nourishing the body, and also to discuss the role of each steps in the process of nourishing our body. The third one is to discuss reasons why our human cells utilizes nutrients. Finally, I will have some quiz for you guys, which help you to interact with the lecturing materials, and also to test yourself and to test yourself how much you understand the concept we are discussing. Finally, I will introduce you the next videos. In addition, like always, I will suggest a music for you to listen as a relaxations after each lecture. Okay, having said that, let's discuss the process of nourishing our body. As you can see in the picture, these beautiful two couples are eating a food. So the nourishment of the body starts by eating the foods, then we ingested the food products through our mouths, then it goes through into our esophagus, then reach into our stomachs, intestines, and also digested and absorbed. Then it will be distributed throughout our bodies through our systemic circulations, and will reaching into our body cells. Last time we were discussed that human beings have 37 trillion cells, and this is divided into 200 type of cells, and each of our 37 trillions of cells requires nutrients every day for proper function. So the process of nourishing the body is to break down the food matrix into smaller molecules to reach into our cells. So today we'll discuss every step a little bit, like step by step. The overall objectives of this nourishment process is to break down the food matrix and also make the nutrients available in a very small forms for our cells. And the process of nourishing our body involves, the first one is sensory perceptions, ingestions of the food, digestions of the food, absorptions of the food, transportations of the food, and also finally utilizations and metabolism. In addition, there is also a process called excretions, which is a process that we eliminated undigested food products and the byproducts of cell metabolism. So let's discuss the sensory perceptions part. Here, seeing the food, smelling the food, touching the food, tasting the foods, and hearing and also talking about foods will make us to think about the foods. Especially visualizations and smell of the food initiate the cephalic phase responses, which prepares our digestive system for food intake. These preparatory phases include the release of saliva, gastric juices, digestive hormones, which priming the stomachs and the small intestines for the arrival of the foods. The cephalic phases responses enhances the efficiency of our digestion systems and also the nutrient absorptions by optimizing the secretions of digestive enzymes and also promoting gastric motilities. Additionally, the sensory experience of our foods can influence our eating behavior, appetite regulations, and also overall enjoyment of our meal. This is actually very important from the nutrition perspectives. Eating behavior, appetite regulations, and overall enjoyment is very important as a part of nourishment of our body. The second process of nourishing our body is ingestions of foods and drink. As you can see in this picture, these three beautiful ladies are eating Ethiopian food. Maybe for some of them is for the first time. They are eating the food or ingestions of the food. By the way, uh, Ethiopian foods are very flavorous, very spicy, and very aromatic and very tasty. They have like plenty of vegetarian options and also meat products as well. This is so perfect and so tasty. And anyone who's watching these videos, I recommend you to go to the nearby Ethiopian restaurants and to taste and enjoy the Ethiopian traditional food there. Having said that, ingestion is the most important part of our life. We usually eat or we ingest foods every day, maybe 3 times a day or more, depending on our economical status. So our interaction with our food is very high. Ingestions actually refers to the process of taking food and drink into the body through our mouths for digestion and nutrient absorption. Ingestions mark the beginning of the digestive processes as the food enters our mouths and is subsequently swallowed. It includes chewing and swallowing of the food, which enters the digestive tracts and initiate the nourishment process. The third part of the nourishment process is digestion. Digestion is actually the process by which food is broken down into smaller, simpler molecules that can be absorbed and utilized by the body. Digestion processes include both mechanical and enzymatic processes or chemical processes. The chemical digestion process involves the physical breakdowns of food through chewing and mixing with digestive juices. On the other hand, enzymatic digestion involves the actions of digestive enzymes that catalyzes the chemical breakdowns of complex molecules into simpler forms. Digestion process occurs largely in the mouth. In the mouth, there is a mechanical as well as an enzymatic digestion process. The second place where digestion occurs is the stomach, our stomach. In this stomach, there is an enzymatic as well as a mechanical digestion process is happening. The mechanical one is associated with like churning actions, and the enzymatic action is like the enzyme which is produced by some enzyme producing glands or organs which release enzymes which helps the digestion process. Largely protein digestive enzymes are produced in our stomachs. The third one is the small intestine. In the small intestines as well, both enzymatic and mechanical digestions happens. Here, lots of enzymes will be produced by our pancreas, which will help us to digest our foods chemically. There is also a mechanical digestions, example, segmentations of the small intestines due to the small intestine movements will help to digest the foods mechanically as well. But the chemical digestion is more predominant than the mechanical digestions. Digestion is also happen at the cell membrane. As an example, we can say that adipose cells by the lipoprotein lipase enzyme is one of the digestion process that is happening at the periphery of these cells. As you can see in this picture, the kilomicrons, which is the lipoproteins, which collects the fat molecules and also the fat soluble vitamins, will be digested by the lipoprotein lipase at the periphery of the adipose cells. Then it will be disintegrated into smaller molecules so that the fatty acids and the monoacyl glycerols will be absorbed by the adipose cells for further processing in these cells. In addition, digestion is also happening inside our cells. As an example, proteins can be digested by the lysosomes, which is found inside the cell. For example, in our white blood cells, there is a cells called phagocytes, and these phagocytes usually fight with the foreign materials or foreign objects which attack us, like bacteria or viruses, which are the protein by themselves. So through their endocytosis process, the food particles also or other protein materials from the bacteria or virus will be engulfed by the cells and will be digested inside our cells by the lysosome. So digestions can occur in different places of our body. That includes our mouth, stomach, small intestine, at the cell membrane, and also sides of our cells. The fourth process following digestion is absorption. Absorption is a process by which digested nutrients are taken up by the cells of the digestive tracts into the circulatory system. Absorption of nutrients primarily occurs in the small intestine, where the nutrient passes through the intestinal wall and entering the bloodstreams or the lymphatic system for distribution throughout the body. Absorption ensures that nutrients such as glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals are transferred from the food digestive system into the cell to be utilized for energy production, growth, and repair. So the majority of the nutrients will be absorbed in the small intestine, as you can see in this picture. This is the small intestines, and the small intestines absorb nutrients by the microvilli, which is like a branched kind of structure. And in this villi there are lots of capillaries and lacteals, and these capillaries are the one which absorbs nutrients from the small intestines and transfer these absorbed nutrients through the vein. We call it like the hepatic portal vein, which is a kind of vein which connect the small intestines and the liver. And also nutrients can also be absorbed by this lactile, which is similar to capillaries or capillary vein, which absorbs nutrients, particularly the chylomicrons or the fats and the fat soluble vitamins collections. And this lactile is a little bit larger than the capillaries, so that chylomicron is a little bit larger in larger molecules, so that the fats and fat soluble vitamins in the form of chylomicrons will be absorbed through the lactiles and join the lymphatic system. However, the other nutrients like glucose, amino acids, water soluble vitamins, and amino acids will pass through the capillaries and use the vein, which is the hepatic portal vein, and directly go to the liver. We will discuss this concept a little bit more in the following section. The next process is transportation. Transportation involves the movement of the absorbed nutrients through the bloodstream to various tissues and organs of the body. Nutrients such as glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals are absorbed in the small intestine during digestion. Nutrients, after absorption, passes through the intestinal wall and entering the circulatory system in two different ways. By the way, guys, these are the most important aspects of this lecture. So please pay attention on this matter. And these two different pathways can be classified into the portal venous system and the lymphatic system. So let's discuss one by one. Portal venous system. The majority of the absorbed nutrients enter the portal venous system includes glucose, amino acids, water-soluble vitamins, minerals, and short-chain fatty acids are absorbed and entering into the portal venous system. Nutrients are transported from the intestinal epithelial cells into the portal vein, which is a kind of vein which connects the small intestines and the liver. And these portal veins carries blood rich in nutrients directly to the liver. And in the liver, nutrients undergoes further processings such as regulation, detoxifications, and also storage before being distributed to the rest of the body via the systemic circulation. And from the liver, blood containing nutrients circulate to the right arterium through the inferior vena cava, and then to the lung for oxygenations. After oxygenations, the blood returns to the left arterium. From the left arterium, nutrient-rich blood is pumped throughout the body via the aorta. So let us discuss this a little bit by seeing this picture. So the portal venous system uses the capillaries for absorbing nutrients. The nutrients that are using the portal venous systems are glucose, amino acids, water-soluble vitamins, minerals, and short-chain fatty acids. These nutrients uses the capillary to be absorbed into the small intestine. Once entering into the small intestine, these capillaries are connected into the vein, and this vein is collecting these nutrients and transfer these nutrients into the liver through the hepatic portal vein. As you can see in this picture, this is a small intestine, and these blue lines or the smaller veins are attached into the outer part of the small intestine. These actually are the one which collects these nutrients and pass it through to the liver. As you can see here, this is a larger blue vein is called hepatic portal vein. This hepatic portal vein is the one which connects the small intestine and transfer the absorbed nutrients into the liver. Here in the liver, there are small pipelines which is called sinusoids, which distribute this nutrient rich blood into different parts of the liver cells. We call it hepatocytes. Here in the liver, there are lots of processes happening. This includes like regulations, detoxifications, and also other processes including storage of nutrients. But when the nutrients are required, the liver, depending on our status, will release the nutrients through the circulation system. And this liver is actually connected to the inferior vena cava, which is a kind of vein which collects deoxygenated blood from our bottom parts of the body to the heart. This blue line or blue color indicate the blood is deoxygenated. So this blood is transferred into the right arterium. While doing that, the liver is released the nutritious blood, which is full of nutrients, which is absorbed from the small intestine, and transfer these nutrients into the blood circulation through the inferior vena cava. Then this inferior vena cava will pass the deoxygenated but nutritious blood to the right parts of our heart. So the right arterium will pump this deoxygenated blood into the liver, where deoxygenated bloods are getting oxygen, or oxygenation process will happen in our lung, and the carbon dioxide will be released through our mouth. and we call this process respiration. Then after, the oxygenated and nutritious blood in the lung will be pumped again into the left part of our heart, or the left arterium. Sorry. And in the left arteriums, the oxygenated and nutritious blood will be pumped out through the aorta to our different parts of the cell. So it will be distributed. Let us see another pictures which will explain this concept a little bit more further. As you can see in this picture, this is the portal vein here, which collects blood and give it to the liver. The liver, after processing, it will release the nutrient-rich blood into the vena cava. This is the inferior vena cava, which collects deoxygenated blood from the bottom parts of our body. Then this blood will go through to the heart in the right arterium. The right arterium will receive the nutritious but deoxygenated blood from the inferior vena cava. Then it will pump the blood into the right ventricle. The right ventricle will pump the blood here through these blue lines to our lung. Our lung is here, and this lung is due to the respiration process will give the oxygen to the blood and release the carbon dioxide out through our mouth and nose. Then the oxygenated blood will be pumped by the lung into the right arterium here. The right arterium will pump the oxygenated as well as the nutritious blood into the left ventricle. The left ventricle pump the nutritious and oxygen blood through this channel, and this is an aorta. This aorta will pump the blood and distribute the nutritious and oxygenated blood throughout our body. In this picture too, as you can see, the red one is the one which is oxygenated and nutritious blood, and it pumped throughout our bodies, including every detail cells of our bodies. Last time we were discussing that we have 37 trillion cells throughout our bodies, and all of those cells are connected by these arteries, so they receive the nutrients through this process. This is very, very interesting. So this is the overall process for the nutrients which follows the portal system, or hepatic portal system. To summarize what I have said about the portal venous system, first we ingest the food, then we swallow the food through our esophagus. Due to the peristaltic movements, the food will be going down in the form of bolus. We call this food bolus. Then this bolus will get into our stomach. In our stomach, there will be digestions and also some absorptions, like iodine and water can be absorbed in the stomach. However, most nutrients are after digestions, they are pumped directly into the small intestines. There is also a high shear stress here. We call it the squirting, like small amounts of digested food products are squirted or pumped directly into the small intestines, and this squirting process will do like some kind of shear stress, which make the digested chyme, we call it chyme, give it like an emulsion process. Then this will delve into the small intestines where the majority of digestions and absorptions happen. This is the inside part of the small intestines. So the nutrients which follows the portal venous systems will be absorbed by the microvilli through the capillaries, and the capillaries is connected into the vein. This vein is connected into the hepatic portal vein, which is a vein which connects the small intestine and the liver. The liver, after processing those nutrients, they release the nutritious blood through the vena cava to the heart, and the heart, the right part of the arteriums, will receive the deoxygenated but nutritious blood from the liver through the inferior vena cava, then pump this blood into our lung for oxygenation purposes. The carbon dioxide will go out and the blood will receive fresh oxygens from the air due to the respiration processes, and then the lung will pump the oxygenated but nutritious blood into the left arterium. Then the left arterium through the left ventricle will pump the nutritious and oxygenated blood throughout our body through the aorta. This is how all of our cells will receive oxygenated and nutritious blood. So after receiving these nutrients, all of our cells, all of our 37 trillion cells will use that nutrients for their own specific functions, as well as for energy productions, maintenance, growth, and the like. This is how the portal venous system works. This is a summary. Please do not forget these pathways. This is a very simple pathways, but when we are delve into each nutrients one by one, this will be a little bit more complicated, because we're gonna go deep into every details of the metabolism from the start to the end. This is just a simple pathway. The second one is the lymphatic system, the lymphatic pathways. Here, nutrients absorbed into the lymphatic system before entering the bloodstream typically includes dietary fats or lipids. These include triglycerides, cholesterols, cholesterol esters, and phospholipids. And the second one is fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamins that dissolve in fats and oils, including vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. So, both dietary fats and fat-soluble vitamins will not go to the liver directly after absorbed in the small intestines. Rather, they go into the lymphatic system to reach into the bloodstream. So they will bypass the liver processing operations. The dietary fats and fat-soluble vitamins are absorbed and packaged into the molecule called the chylomicrons. Chylomicrons are a large lipoprotein particles within the enterocytes, or the cell lining inside the small intestines. Actually, these chylomicrons are formed inside the small intestines. After the fats are digested in the small intestines, they will break down into the smaller molecules of fats. Then these fats will re-esterify again within the small intestines after they are absorbed, and they will make the chylomicrons. These chylomicrons actually are larger lipoprotein particles which contains the fat molecules called phospholipid, cholesterol esters, cholesterols, triacylglycerols, and fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, K. In addition to that, like vitamin A precursors, like beta carotenes, are also included. And in this sense, after the chylomicron is formed, they go into the lymphatic system. These chylomicrons are going to the lymphatic system because they are a larger molecules. So, since capillaries are very small, these chylomicrons cannot go directly into the capillaries into the liver to get into the circulation system. Rather, they will follow the lymphatic system through the lacteals and the thoracic duct because their molecule is too big. So, chylomicrons are then released into the lacteals. The lacteals are the one which is around here, which is the green one. And and then the lymphatic vessels located in the villi of the small intestine, rather than directly into the bloodstreams. Kilomicrons are transported via the lymphatic system to the thoracic duct, where they enter the bloodstream near the junctions of the jugular and subclavian veins. So once the bloodstream, kilomicron deliver dietary fats and fat-soluble vitamins to various tissues for utilizations or storage. So let's use this picture to describe what's mentioned there. Okay, this is the small intestine. This small intestine is connected to the lymphatic vessels and also lacteals inside. So the absorbed kilomicrons will go into the lactile first, then will travel to the lymphatic vessels. This is the lymphatic vessels, the green one. The green one is the lymphatic vessels, which is larger than the blue one, which is a vein. This is why the kilomicron is preferred to pass through to the lymphatic vessels. Then after absorbed from the small intestines, it will pass through the thoracic duct. As you can see here, this is a thoracic duct. Thoracic duct collects all the nutrients which is passing through the lymphatic system in the form of kilomicrons and travel these kilomicrons into the upper parts of our bodies. And this thoracic duct is actually connected here, which is around the jugular and subclavian veins, which is in between here, around here. This thoracic duct is connected to the vein here. So the kilomicrons, which collect the fat molecules and also the fat soluble vitamins, will travel in the form of kilomicrons and join the blood circulation system here. Then after that, the kilomicrons will travel to these blue lines. This blue line is an indication of the vein, which is deoxygenated blood, but nutritious. So this will travel into our heart. This is how the lymphatic system works. And let's use the next picture as a descriptions. So as I said earlier, the kilomicron is joining here to the vein. So as I previously described in the hepatic portal vein systems, after joining the vein here, it will traveling into the right arterium. Then from the right arterium, it goes into the right ventricle. The right ventricles will pump the blood with the kilomicrons and also other nutrients from the hepatic portal vein here. Then pump this nutritious blood into the lung. Then in the lung, due to the respirations, the blood will get oxygenated. Then the oxygenated blood will be pumped into the left arterium. Then the left arterium through the left ventricle will pump with the nutritious blood through the aorta, and through the aorta all the nutrients will be distributed throughout our bodies. So the other nutrients which pass through the hepatic portal vein will pass through the liver and going to join the circulation system through the inferior vena cava. However, fat and fat soluble nutrients will use the lymphatic system, passing through the thoracic duct and joining the circulation system around the jugular veins and entering into the circulation system. Then go to the heart, then go to the lung for oxygenation, then pump it throughout our bodies. So this is how the nutrients are distributed throughout our bodies. So we divide them into two: the nutrients which uses the lymphatic systems and also the nutrients which uses the hepatic portal vein systems. So please do not forget these two important pathways, because when we are dealing into different nutrients, we're gonna mention them like a lot. So picturing how these nutrients are moving throughout our bodies will help us to understand every details. Okay, let's summarize the lymphatic portal system like we do for hepatic portal system. So the lymphatic portal system, after we ingest the food, we're going to swallow it through our esophagus. So due to the peristaltic movement, the bolus will go down to our stomach. As I said earlier, the nutrients which uses the lymphatic portal systems are fats, dietary fats, and fat-soluble vitamins only. Okay, glucose, amino acids, short-chain fatty acids, water-soluble vitamins, and minerals do not follow the lymphatic portal systems. Rather, they follow the hepatic portal vein. So, for lymphatic portal system, only fat, dietary fats, and fat-soluble vitamins are using these systems. So, after entering into the small intestines, they will be absorbed by the microvilli through the lacteals, and these lacteals are joining the lymphatic vessels. The lymphatic vessels through the thoracic duct will join the circulation system around the neck, the left parts of our neck, close to our jugular veins. Then through the jugular vein, the kilomicrons will get into the circulation system, then goes to the right arterium. The right arterium will pump the blood to the lung. The lung will oxygenate the blood and pump it to the left arterium. So the left arterium will pump the oxygenated and the nutritious blood throughout our bodies. This is how all of our cells will get the nutrients. In this case, this is how they get the dietary fats and also the fat-soluble vitamins. So after receiving these nutrients, they will use it for their own purposes. So transportations involves the movement of absorbed nutrients through the bloodstream to various tissues and organs of the body. Once the blood streams or lymphatic vessels, nutrients are transported to cells where they are needed for energy production, growth, repair, and other metabolic processes. The circulatory system, particularly the blood vessel, serves as the primary means of transporting nutrients to target tissues and organs throughout the body. Transportation ensures that nutrients absorbed during digestion are efficiently delivered to cells, where they can be utilized for various physiological functions. Nutrients are actually transported through the bloodstream to various tissues and organs through the blood vessels to facilitate their movements and delivery to target cells by different protein molecules, such as transporter molecules or transporter proteins. For example, glucose transporter proteins or GLUTs, which are very important. There are lots of type of GLUT or glucose transporter proteins which are used to transport glucose molecules. There are also amino acid transporters and also sodium glucose transporters or SGLT1. We will discuss this more in detail when we are discussing each nutrient actually, but it's worth mentioning them here as an introduction. There are also carrier proteins, for example, serum albumin, serum transferrin, retinol binding proteins. These are some of the examples of the carrier proteins which are used to transport nutrients. The third one is lipoproteins, which are also used to transport nutrients such as high-density lipoproteins, low-density lipoproteins, and also chylomicrons. Actually, nutrients are required transporter protein, carrier proteins, and also lipoproteins for several reasons. For example, for solubility matters inside our body. Specificity or specific binding to certain nutrients. Protection. Protection is very important. Some nutrients cannot travel through our blood without protection. If these carrier proteins do not protect those nutrients, they will be oxidized, so they will become useless. So for protection purposes, nutrients require transporters. In addition, efficiency is also improved through these transporter proteins or carrier proteins, or also lipoproteins. So for these four specific reasons, nutrients require these important molecules. Okay. Having said that, let's discuss the utilizations or metabolism part. So we said that nutrients were absorbed, transported, and reaching into the cell. Then the next step will be utilization. So utilization is also known as metabolism, which refers to the chemical process that occur within the cell to convert the absorbed nutrients into energy and to build and repair tissues. It involves various biochemical reactions, including the breakdowns of nutrients to release energy, which is catabolism, and also the synthesis of new molecules for growth and repair, or anabolism. Metabolism plays a vital role in maintaining homeostasis and supporting the body physiological functions. Inside our cells, there are lots of metabolic processes are happening. For example, carbohydrate metabolism, lipid metabolism, energy metabolism, amino acid metabolism, metabolisms of other amino acids, nucleotide metabolism, glycan biosynthesis and metabolism, biosynthesis of secondary metabolites, and also biodegradations of xenobiotics. All these different kinds of metabolic activities are happening inside our bodies, and all these processes are happening after receiving those nutrients. Nutrients are used for different types of metabolisms that are happened within the cell for specific functions. Actually, cells utilize nutrients for various purposes, essential for their survival and also function. For example, the first purpose is for energy production. Nutrients serve as a fuel source for adenosine triphosphate or ATP production through cellular respirations and also providing energy for cellular activities. The second purpose is for biosynthesis activities. Cells utilize nutrients to synthesize biomolecules essential for growth, repairs, and maintenance, including protein synthesis, nucleic acid synthesis, glycogen synthesis, and also lipid molecule synthesis. The third purpose is metabolic regulations. Nutrients and their metabolites play a crucial role in regulating cellular signaling pathways, gene expressions, and metabolic homeostasis. The fourth one is redox reactions. Nutrients participate in redox reactions, providing electrons for ATP synthesis and also other metabolic processes. The fifth one is maintenance of membrane integrity. Nutrients such as phospholipids and cholesterols maintain cell membrane integrity and function. The next one is pH regulations. Nutrients help regulate intracellular and extracellular pH level, ensuring proper enzyme functions and cellular processes. Nutrients like bicarbonate ions and certain amino acids play a role in maintaining intracellular and extracellular pH balance. The next one is osmotic balance, which is very, very important. Nutrients help maintain osmotic balance within the cell, regulating hydrations and also cell volume. Example, sodium, potassium, and chlorides are very, very vital. The next one is detoxifications. Nutrients actually act as an antioxidant and also as a cofactor for enzymes involved in detoxification processes. Cell signaling and communications is also one of the purpose of cells that requires nutrients. Nutrients and their metabolites actually serve as signaling molecules, modulating cellular communications and also physiological responses. The last one, but not the least, is neurotransmitter productions, such as dopamine and serotonin, which is the most important neurotransmitters which controls our mood and emotions. Certain nutrients are actually a precursor for neurotransmitter synthesis, such as vitamin B6, B12, and some other nutrients are a precursor for neurotransmitter synthesis, like tryptophan, lysines are also used as a precursor for neurotransmitter synthesis. These nutrients are essential for nerve signal transmissions and also brain function. Brain function is very, very vital for overall health. So nutrients are required for this purpose. So our cells require nutrients for the mentioned purpose. Actually, there are also other reasons. The last process is excretion. Not all nutrients are actually needed by the body, so when there is excess, it will be excreted or eliminated. In addition, after use, the excess or the byproduct metabolites will be excreted through our bodies. So collectively we call it this excretion processes. So excretion can be defined as the process of eliminating waste products and also excess substances from the body. This process includes urinations or renal excretions. Here the kidney is the main organ for these purposes. The kidney filter waste products and also remove metabolic wastes, products like urea, creatinine, uric acid, excess ions and excess water from the bloodstream to produce urine and excrete it out of our bodies. The second one is defecations or fecal excretion. Defecation removes indigestible food components such as fiber and waste products from the digestive tracts through the anus. The third one is respirations or exhalation. The respiration system removes carbon dioxide, a waste product of cellular metabolism, during exhalation. Sweating or sudoriferous excretions, which is made by the sweat glands in the skin, produce sweat or perspirations, which contains water, electrolytes such as sodium and chloride, urea, and also small amount of metabolic waste products. The next one is excretions via tears, saliva, and other body fluids. Tears and saliva contains enzymes, electrolytes, and also metabolic waste products that are excreted from the body. Okay, after discussing all those things, now it's time for quiz. And our today's quiz is as follows. The first question is, what are the process of nourishing the body? What are the role of sensory perceptions in the process of nourishment? Define ingestions. Define digestion and also type of digestions as well as where does digestions occur. Define absorptions of nutrients. Discuss the two different ways through which nutrient passes through the intestinal wall and entering the circulatory system after absorption. For what purpose nutrients requires transporter proteins, carrier proteins, and lipoproteins. Define utilizations. Define excretions and type of excretions. These are our today's quiz. Especially due attention on the two different ways through which the nutrient passes through the intestinal walls. And these are very important when we are discussing each nutrient in our subsequent lecture. So our next video will discuss about section 3, overview of the digestive, absorptive, and utilization organs and systems. Here we will gonna discuss about the structures of the digestive tract and the digestive and absorptive process. From during these lectures, we will discuss the main structures of the digestive tracts, which include the oral cavities, which is the upper digestive tracts, the esophagus, the stomach, small intestine, and also large intestine. These are the main structures of the digestive tracts. We will discuss each of the structures in detail, in depth. And also we'll also discuss about the accessory organs like the pancreas, liver, and the gallbladder. We will also discuss each enzymes and hormones that are happening or that are used for the digestions, absorptions, and utilizations of our nutrients and also their locations as well. We will delve into the circulatory system and the lymphatic system again in more detail than this one. Our today's lecture is about to give you the overall picture of the pathways, so that every detail is within our today's lecture. So our today's lecture is very important. Please give due attention to it. It's just like the summary of what we are going to discuss next. We will also discuss about different kinds of transporters which are located in our small intestines and also in our blood circulations and their behavior, their specific roles, and the like. Finally, we will discuss about the anatomical structures of the cell, which is the most important part because every metabolic activities are happening in the cell. So understanding the anatomy and physiology of the cell is very vital for us before we delve into each nutrient metabolism. Understanding this and our today's lectures will help us to smoothen our discussions when we are discussing each nutrient. I hope this will help us. Finally, I will invite you music for relaxation. Today's I will invite you to listen music which is made during 60 years ago or 50 years ago. There are plenty of Ethiopian musicians, and they were too popular in Ethiopia, and this Ethiopian jazz is very different, and I hope you will like it. These music were published by Francis Falsetto, which is a French music producer, which he organized Ethiopian musicians and record their jazz music. They have lots of series, like 30 series. They are so beautiful. So if you are a fan of music, which is one of my favorite music for you to listen, and it's also nice to diversify our music appetite. Thank you so much. We will meet next time with the next videos. So this is to say goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe our channels, and also clicking the ringing the bells, and don't forget to like, share, and also give us your comments. I will post the link for the music for you with an English narrations and subtitles, and also descriptions about the history of that music. I hope you will enjoy it. Good luck. Goodbye. See you next time. Bye bye.